Having goals is a good way to set your focus on one thing or set your attention on one thing. And studies have shown that when you have a goal, you are more likely to increase your effort in order to achieve that thing. So it's very important to set goals. In this video, I'm going to be detailing the money goals I have set for myself and how I plan to achieve them. I know this is already the end of Q1, so it's kind of late, but better late than never, right? So these goals are basically the things that I'm doing to upgrade my finances and also push me further to my goal of being in a very comfortable place with money. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm Chidera, and on this channel I share on finances, marriage and life in the UK. So if this sounds like content you're interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And without further hesitation, let's get right into it. So basically at the end of Q1, I reviewed all my financial goals just to see how much progress I've made with each of them. So I'm going to be sharing like just how far gone I am with most of the goals I'm gonna share. So the very first money goal that I had was to have 6 times my living expenses saved up in my emergency fund. So emergency fund is basically money for rainy days. Me, I call it looking out for me fund, because this is money to look out for myself in case anything happens. As that last year ended, I was somewhere around like 3 times my living expenses, and I knew I wanted to get it up to 6 times my living expenses. So basically what this is money I spend on mortgage, on feeding, everything, having times 6 of that, like everything I spend in a month, having times 6 of that. So I have achieved that. I'm proud to announce that, and I have put this in a high interest savings account so that basically my money is earning money for me while I'm not really lifting a finger to do anything. So that was the first goal, and that smashed. So the second money goal that I have is to save at least 60% of my income on a month-to-month basis. Now this was a very audacious goal, and the reason why I was able to set this goal is because last year, after I tracked my finances and reviewed my finances at the end of the year, I realized that I was comfortably able to save 40% of my income, and that's why I decided to push myself this year to make it 60%. And this is one of the reasons why it's very important to like measure and track your finances, because you can't improve what you don't measure. Because I was tracking my money last year, I could tell like how much I can push myself to achieve certain things, and I'm proud to say that for the first quarter of 2024, I have actually achieved this goal. So I have like my tracker sheet here where I track my income and expenses at the end of every month, and in the month of January I actually saved 70% of my income, which is so good. And then in February I saved 81% of my income. And when I say savings, I mean money that I can put towards like all my savings pot and also like towards investing. And one of the things that has helped me achieve this is the fact that, first of all, I live within my means. Like, I'm not trying to impress anybody, I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses or anybody next door. I live within my means. If I cannot afford it, I cannot afford it. I say it pump and plain. Like, I'm not even bothered. That's it. Like, I live within my means. Another significant thing that's helped me to achieve this is that I avoid lifestyle inflation. So in the space of, I think, a year and a couple months, my income has increased twice. Okay, I've gotten like 2 increase in my income, and even though my income has increased, my lifestyle has remained the same. So you know how the more you earn, the more you want to spend? No, even though I am earning a lot more now, my expenses have remained on a very like steady level. I'm not like splurging on anything more than I used to do before. Everything is basically much the same, and that's one of the ways to really ensure that when you get an increase in your income, you still have more money left, is to ensure that you avoid lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep, where you start spending more unnecessarily because you feel like you have more money. The next money goal that I set for myself is to keep my monthly expenses under £300 monthly, and so far this has worked for me over the years. So this is not like a new goal for me. This is something that even last year, that's how it was. £300 a month is what I have to spend. And what this money is, or what I mean by personal expenses, is if I need to take a train, if I need to go into London, that's where that money is coming from. If I want to grab something, maybe I want to buy food on the road, I want to, you know, buy a snack, whatever, that's where the money is coming from. Okay, if I want to buy an outfit, that's where the money is coming from. If I want to buy shoes for the month, that's where the money is coming from. So basically I set aside £300 a month for my personal expenses. Personal meaning it's not something that is combined with my husband. It's not like a combined expense. These are things that I'm spending on my own. If I want to buy a birthday gift for someone, it's coming out from that £300. What happens in some cases is there are months where I don't exhaust the £300, so I leave it there and then I top up for the next month. So that means for that month I may have like 400 or 500, and that's because there was a carryover from the previous month. So far I've been achieving this. This one is not even a struggle, but I just like told myself we're keeping it at 300 regardless, despite the income increase, despite anything. £300 per month. Don't go more than that for now, at least. The next money goal that I set for myself is to invest at least £500 a month. So my goal for this year is to invest £10,000 like into the stock market. So to put into funds, stocks, you know, whatever. And in order to achieve that, I need to be investing at least £500. If I invest £500 in 12 months, that'll be £6,000. Like, see why I said at least. So that's the minimum, but I need to do more than that. So far, I have achieved this. In January, I did not invest up to £500. Not gonna lie, there were a lot of things that I had to prioritize at that moment. In February, I also did not do £500. No, I did. In February, I did £500. And then in the month of March, I did about £400. So far, it's kind of like fluctuating, but I'm hoping that going forward, now that we're entering Q2, I'm going to be able to do £500 monthly invested. And then I'm hoping that further down towards the year, I could get like lump sum of money that I could also just throw into investing to be able to hit the £10,000 invested at the end of this year. All right, the next money goal that I set for myself is to contribute at least 12% to my pensions. As a general rule, when you're working in the UK, you're automatically enrolled to workplace pensions. And with workplace pensions, you're to contribute 5% of your income and your employer contributes 3%, and then you get 25% tax relief from the government. So currently, I'm contributing 6% of my income. I told my HR that I want to increase this amount a bit, so I increased it to 6% of my income. And then lucky enough for me, my company also increased their statutory contribution. They increased it from 3% to 5%. So that means 6% from me currently, 5% from my employer, that's 11%. And then I get 25% tax relief from the government. So in total, I currently have contribute like 12.2% towards my pensions every month, and this is where I want it to be. As much as we don't want to acknowledge that we're gonna get old, you are gonna get old, I'm gonna get old, so I have to think about future Chidera, Grandma Chidera, and she needs to be living a good life, sipping cocktails on a yacht, okay? Sipping cocktails on a yacht in Dubai. That's what she needs to be doing. So she needs money to fund that lifestyle, and that's why I decided to increase it and ensure that I'm doing 12% contribution towards my pensions on a month-to-month basis. Then the last money goal that I set for myself is to prioritize my savings for various things. I could just call them sinking funds at this point. So basically money put aside for several things. There are so many things I want to attain or achieve at the end of the year. One of the things that I'm working towards is certification, which is quite expensive, so I'm actively saving towards that. There's also saving for travel, so I have like a savings pot for travel. I'm looking to travel this year. I have already done like 2 trips so far, and I'm gonna do even more, so having that set aside. But I have a pot for a car. I had the plan at the beginning of the year to work towards buying a car this year and, you know, getting my license and all of that. But right now I'm not so sure if I want to still prioritize that, but like that's one of the things I was prioritizing as of January, February, March, saving towards like buying a car. So basically that's the last money goal that I have, prioritizing all of the savings pots that I have and ensuring that I'm putting money into this pot on a month-to-month basis. I like to give every savings a separate name, and each of them is a separate pot, so I know what is for what. Because the truth is, a lot of times if you're saving money and you don't really allocate it to something, the tendency is that you spend the money because the money was never tied to anything anyway, so it's easy for you to just spend it. So like, it's good to give names to your savings than to just call it savings in general, if that makes sense. So yeah, these are all the money goals that I have at the moment. Let me know if anything resonated with you, and hopefully I hope to be able to give like updates on how I'm doing so far with these goals that I have set, maybe once a quarter, I'm not sure about it, or maybe at the end of the year. But anyway, I will give an update. So if you found this video helpful, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot. Okay, till next time guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.